Hey Aquarius, well I'm here today with a general collective read for the lunar eclipse on October 25th. I've had some technical difficulties. I started off with the fire signs and everything was working fine technologically, and then by the time I got to Gemini everything was requiring 6 and 7 times. I was shuffling as I was recording. So I've already got your cards out, so I'm going to go ahead and try to say it relatively quickly in case the technological difficulties return. So let me share with you what I've got for that solar eclipse. But before I begin, this is a general collective reading, and as such, it will not resonate with each and every Aquarius that watches. So please take only what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. This is my new buddy Jake. He comes to say hi. And also, this is a timeless video, and as such, it's not important that you see it close to when it was created, but rather, if Spirit gives you an intuitive nudge, that is a sign that this video, there's a message in it for you. So I would like to say the first card out for you, Aquarius, is the Sun. That is a really good card to start a reading with. The Sun is warmth, it's happiness, it's joy, it's sheer joy. Now there was a clarifying, I have these little clarifiers. And the clarifier that landed on the Sun was the gingerbread man. Now the Sun itself also has a child, you see, on that horse. So I would say to those in the Aquarius collective that are able to have a child, it's a possibility for some of you that if you do not want to have a child, you might want to consider using protection, because that's a double confirmation of children. And it's the first card out, so it has a lot of energy. The next card is Spirit wants you to know that your commitment is being tested. You're going through a testing phase right now to kind of see how you resolve a situation. How do you deal with the situation? So at this point too, Spirit is trying to say that there is something, Aquarius, that many of you need to release. In order for you to move forward, you're going to need to release something. Now, I believe some of you, what you needed to release was a toxic person or a thing. It could have been an obsession. It could have been a codependent person. There are many different ways that you could have had something binding you. So I think that's an area to possibly look at. I think this person too, if it's a toxic person in your particular case, I believe they're going to try to make a return, and they're going to say, look, can we work on stuff together? And your answer is, for many of you, no. Again, Spirit gives you free will, so it's your choice how you decide to go. I think that person might even have offered, like saying, let's go and have a vacation together and see if we can work this out, but you responded no. The next card is Innocence. And I think I think Gemini got that too. I know another one of my readings got that card. But to me, this is a sweet innocence. This is kind of a romantic, chivalrous relationship, you know, is something that you're desiring. And just for her or him to be the apple of your eye, the star of your life. I see goblets here, so I see celebration. I see listening to music together. And I also see a lot of activity with this person. You know, there's a lot of things I think you're both interested in. Now, for many of you at this present time, you know, there is a dissatisfaction in life. There is also someone who's trying to put a wedge between something that you want. I believe with this person of interest, this person that you care for, there's been a misunderstanding, because the person at a distance from you is thinking quite a bit about you. Now, not everyone is going to be at a distance, but definitely it's going to resonate for somebody under those conditions. You've been working really, really hard, Aquarius, towards whatever this objective or this goal of yours is. Now, also with respect to your love life, I believe many of you are going to want to reconcile with someone, because Axe came out in reverse, and unconditional love came out next to that, and then next to that we have talking. So I definitely feel like that's a reconciliation. What followed that is the Passion card. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. So all of these are kind of giving confirmation to the other cards that indeed there is definitely a romantic relationship that's beginning to blossom. Possible pregnancy, not for all, but for some. There's a misunderstanding that needs to be cleared up with this person. And I see too that for many of you, and again, timing is fluid, but this is saying 2 weeks from now, there's going to be some form of justice for you. And I believe maybe that toxic person, you know, threatened appearances, they may make an appearance on the scene, but just, you know, use your common sense, do what you always do, always be aware of your surroundings. Don't be afraid, just be aware. Spirit's just wanting you to be aware that this person may make a reappearance. The other thing is Spirit wants you to focus on your root chakra. I show that you're balanced at the time being, but this is going to require you to continue to be very balanced, especially if you're doing spiritual work, because it's even more important then, I think, for you to constantly be working on making sure that you're balanced. So that is what I have for you for this lunar eclipse. One last thing I will share with you about eclipses in general that I know. My understanding of an eclipse is the intention of it is something will be revealed. So there's going to be some clarity that's given to you during the time of an eclipse. Now, why is it that some eclipses affect some people more than others? That is, if you're interested in astrology, find your natal chart. And when there is an eclipse, look at your planets compared to the degree and the sign of the eclipse. If you have the same sign and let's say that the eclipse is in 2 degrees and your particular planet is 4 degrees, that's what's called a tight orb, and so that's a very powerful energy. So the closer it goes from 2 to 1 to 0, when it gets to 0, an absolute conjunction, it's very powerful. So people that have that placement are going to be affected more so by an eclipse than someone who does not have that placement. So it's basically an illumination is what I would look for. The last thing about eclipses is the effects can be either 6 months before the day of or 6 months after. So there's about a year one way or the other that you're looking at to see whatever this revelation or clarity is. So guys, I hope this finds you well. Jake Garuni says hi. I say hi. I send you light, love, blessings, and say shine bright all and be kind.